My TED Talk. My name is Amy Quillen. My kids call me Miss Q at school. So I'm starting my 7th year teaching at the same school in Irving ISD. I've taught second grade for 4 years, and I'm starting my 3rd year in 3rd grade. I've taught English language arts and social studies each year, and I've fallen in love with teaching reading so much that I'm continuing my education, and my future aspirations are to become a reading specialist one day, which would include a small role in coaching to go along with that as well. I know the literacy or the reading specialist at my campus also trains teachers on the latest resources, the latest programs that the district is wanting teachers to use in their classroom. So that would also be part of the requirements for me as a reading specialist one day. So I'm obtaining my master's right now. I have a few more classes left, and I've just fallen in love with teaching kids how to read. It brings me so much joy, like I said. So those are my future goals. And so I'm making this video for the new coach who is excited and anxious to begin their new role. Because starting a new job, of course, it's scary yet exciting at the same time. So in order to inform you a little bit more, I read an article. It was called The Do's and Don'ts of Literacy Coaching. Now, I selected this article specifically because it has to do with literacy, which is my passion, my love. And I fell in love with education because of literacy practices. So the Do's and Don'ts for Literacy Coaching by Rita Bean and Diane DeFord. It caught my eye, like I said, because it's specifically about literacy. And reading this article would allow me, would allow all the readers to become familiar with what you should and should not do as a coach. So this article has a few key takeaways. The first one was that a coach wears many, many different hats. I know when I was starting education in my career that I just thought a coach was somebody who would come in, watch you for a little bit, tell you if you did good or bad, what you should do better. That was always my idea of what a coach does. Kind of like not your boss in a way, but somebody that tells you how to improve your craft. And so what I've learned is that coaches do many different things, not just observations. So knowing the exact role that a coach does is so important. And this can be difficult for them to communicate with you. So they should have a definite, clear job description that the whole entire campus is well aware of. This minimizes confusion among the staff. And if teachers are unaware of their specific roles, they can be viewed as the person like I thought they would be, just somebody that's going in there to try to fix them. So if their role is clearly defined, teachers will be wanting to work with them, eager to work with them. And that's what the article states, quote, that if their role is clearly defined, teachers will be eagerly willing to receive support. Also, this article includes what coaches should do specifically. So a new coach should introduce himself, of course. You should be a familiar face on campus with everybody. Include your responsibilities up front and your enthusiasm, your excitement to support them, and why you want to support them. Why did you want to be a coach in the first place? Those little connections make a huge difference. So don't come across as someone who wants to fix them, because that will just probably push them away. Work with everybody, not just the struggling teachers, but everybody, so that the struggling teacher doesn't take it even more personal on them. So working with all teachers would provide an opportunity to benefit all students as well amongst the whole entire campus. You also want to provide opportunities to connect with teachers to build those relationships. And this brings me to the next point, which is working to establish that trustworthy relationship. Trust is huge as a coach. I know if you've read the book by Elena Aguilar called The Art of Coaching, she discusses this in depth, how important trust is, and this article backs that up as well. So you have to be an active listener in order for your teacher to trust you. And you have to follow through on your promises. A broken promise, you can say goodbye to the relationship, because it's really, really hard to keep going. If you break a promise, you break a commitment. You've left the teacher kind of in the dust. And so that's really hard to bring back up. Work with your principal. Another point, work with your principal to finalize your job description if it's not clear. You must also keep your principal informed and up to date on what you are doing to try to improve literacy across the campus. And it's obvious, and it comes without saying, that that every teacher is different, and each one has their own way of working. Keeping personalities, experiences from the past, and their individual interests in mind, you need to serve as an expert and be a collaborative partner with them in their celebrations and in their struggles. Another point, recognize and know your own beliefs and attitudes as a coach from your experience in the classroom. So just like teachers, coaches also have a set of values, opinions, beliefs that guide our decision making. A literacy coach should look at their own beliefs to help achieve the literacy vision set by the campus, and that vision should be clearly defined as well. Your priorities are very important as time, and your time is very, very short. So you should always do the practices that will give you the most bang for your buck. There's no time to waste. A school year flies by so quickly as it is that you need to really prepare and do what can be done the quickest, most effective way. Planning a schedule will help with this. You need a daily schedule and a day card, as teachers like to say. We have our day card posted outside our classroom if you're required to do that as a teacher, and it would be helpful for you as a coach to also do that, so that the teacher passing by your office or your room can see, oh, she's going to be free at this time. Oh, she's going to be gone at this time. So you need to make yourself available whenever you can. So the do's, another do is keep documentation, especially for the new coach. This will help you reflect on what you have done in the past, what worked, what didn't work. Take notes. Send yourself an email, send yourself a text, put it in your calendar. Just remind yourself what worked, what didn't work, any aha moments that you've had, so that you don't forget the most important things that you have experienced in your new role. Also, failures that have come up. Learning from your failures and your mistakes and your moments of, oh man, I wish I would have done that differently, or oh, I wish I said this differently instead. This will help guide you in the future. And finally, the last do from the article is never stop learning. And this sparked, another aha for me. Oh, yep, educators, never stop learning, no matter what role you're in at a campus. You are expected, and you should want to keep improving and growing in your craft. All right, so the second part of the article discusses what you should not do as a coach. So I like the little flip here. You should do this, but do not do this. It makes it a little bit more powerful, I think. So remember not to come across as someone who wants to fix the teacher up. This might have your teacher sense some fear upon themselves, and then they'll be very resistant to work with you. Don't evaluate teachers, and don't make yourself known across the campus as the evaluator. This could be surprising, because most teachers, like I said, probably think that of coaches of those individuals that will just report on what they saw in your classroom, whether it's good or bad. So, however, you shouldn't report to the principal right away. That's the job of administration, to come into your classroom and observe. In an ideal situation, teachers should be the one coming to you to coach. So they should be coming to you to ask for the support and coaches in your coaching. Another do not be invisible. And I kind of touched on this earlier. Have an open door policy. As a coach, you cannot, have a X on your door, have an open door policy. You should be seen daily throughout the campus. You should have an office that is centrally located on your campus, in a kind of a busy part of the school, not in some little corner in the scary dark hallway, as we have them on my campus. Where the storage rooms are and everything. So that everybody's like thinks it's haunted or something, but do not have your office centrally located, and really, really express your, I guess, the importance of that to your administration. It's always important to communicate that you are there for support and not take comments personally. So the next point is, do not take comments personally that are negative. Don't worry about things you can't change, like the grumbling of teachers or last minute meeting cancellation. Sometimes coaching meetings turns into the teacher venting on or blaming other things, other people for their situation. So don't take things personally. Say you suggested trying something new in the classroom. They tried it. It was a complete fail for them. They're going to blame you for the failure, but don't take it personally. Come up with an approach to spin it around in a positive way. Reminding them that they are working together in this to reach the goal. So the finding arguments here is that the list of do's and don'ts, which were created by coaches through the use of surveys and interviews to prepare new coaches, the items listed are considered critical in a positive school transformation. All of the things that I mentioned will help teachers and coaches work together, which creates positive school transformation, like I said. Teachers nor coaches should work in isolation. And that's one of the key ahas from this article for me was teachers nor coaches should work in isolation. It is a collaborative effort, just like teachers on your campus should always have collaboration together. So this article includes many of the same topics. If you have read Elena Aguilar's book, The Art of Coaching, it includes a lot of the same topics mentioned from the article, actually. And like the book, this article is powerful. It helped me understand the general rules of literacy coaching. It's helped me gain a perspective for the importance of coaching and the collaboration required between the coach and the teacher. And I hope you've gained that insight as well. So honestly, I have never been personally coached as an educator. I wish I had been. I've gotten advice here and there, but I haven't had like a specific coach assigned to me, and I haven't gone through all the steps that I've learned in the book or in this article. But I was thinking, in the closest coaching relationship that I've experienced is with probably our curriculum writers in the district. In my district, we are required to attend a session every 6 weeks to prepare us for the next upcoming 6 weeks. To just prepare us for upcoming lessons, why they were chosen, the best strategies backed by data that have been proven to teach the TEKS that students are required to grasp. So research and data is presented, refining the TEKS that students in the district are really struggling in and that it's seen that they need the most help in. So these sessions include modeled lessons, prepared anchor charts, teacher exemplars that we can bring back into our classrooms. So coaches at these sessions, they come across as honest, credible, data-driven, and extremely supportive, which are all aspects also mentioned in the article and in Elena Aguilar's book. So I love this article, and I hope that you had a beneficial time listening to this talk about the article and that you've taken something away from it. It's full of great coaching advice for the new coach or for a coach that may be stuck and kind of doesn't know what to do at this point. I like how the article enforces not just things coaches need to do, but also what they what they should not do ever. It kind of makes it a little bit more powerful stance. So it's a relief that a majority of coaches find that teachers are, in fact, eager and willing for them to coach them. It's such a hard job, teaching is such a hard job. And so if somebody wants to come alongside of you to help encourage you or give you new ideas, bring it on, you can't lose, there's nothing to lose except, there's nothing to lose, and you can gain so much more. So I think it's important not to waste time and you You cannot lose that confidentiality. Jump right into this role of coaching. A school year flies by fast enough, so wasting time can really set a campus back. So if you know the data ahead of time for your campus also, and this was mentioned in the article, don't waste time getting to know your teachers. Don't waste time getting to know your school's data or the school's mission and vision. Because like I said, it can really set you back from really going full steam ahead in your new career role. So we have an academic specialist at my campus, but the only coach on my campus, and I would say 25% of the time she's coaching. In this coach, I have a personal more appreciation for her because after really digging into this topic on coaching, I didn't realize how much was required of them, honestly, and how much thought it takes, how much patience it takes. They have a lot to keep in mind, so it has to be very intimidating for them, and especially if they're an introvert like I am, like putting yourself out there, knowing how important first impressions are, in gaining trust, how important that is. So for me, negative feedback from teachers would be difficult to overcome and not take personally, and that would be something I would really have to work with. I like how the author says to keep goals in mind for the students as well, because at the end of the day, at the end of the year, you're there for the children, you're there for your students, you want your campus to grow and have a positive school transformation. So that was just a little bit of nuts and bolts from the article, The Do's and Don'ts of Literacy Coaching. I highly encourage you, if you want to dig deeper into this, to read the full article by Rita Bean and Diane DeFord. Once again, it gives great insights for the new coach or for the coach that might be a little bit stuck in a rut. So I wish you a very, very successful school year. And once again, my name is Amy Quillen. See you later.